What did you specifically get that helped you to kind of break that ceiling of like where you're at thinking with your mind and taking your business to the next level?
I think it's mindset and raising capital and learning different ways to finance things has changed us and for the better and quicker. You know, traditionally we were doing traditional loans, things that were slow. I couldn't make cash offers unless I'm using our own money. Those things have changed and we have acquired a lot more because we can move faster.
Welcome back to the Seven Figure Flipping Podcast. I'm your host, Adam Whitney, and I've got some really amazing guests today from our Seven Figure Runway community. Some folks I've just really enjoyed watching them grow in their business. I've got Morgan and Kayla Pepper today from Indiana. Guys, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having us. We're excited to be here.
Hello.
Awesome, Kayla. Thank you. Hey, well, first off, I'm glad you're excited to be here. I know this for some people, you know, that they're not on podcasts all the time. This can feel like, you know, wow, I don't know, am I going to say something wrong? But you guys are great. And I've been so fortunate to just kind of get to see you guys in your business over the past year. But I would love for you to tell our listeners kind of your background and your backstory, how you got into real estate and, you know, kind of everything leading up to you finding us here at Seven Figure Flipping.
Okay. Well, to be honest, the beginning, we started about 4.5 years ago. Morgan, my husband, pushed me for quite a while before we actually took the leap. He was the one that just came home one day and was like, we need to do this. We started looking, had no idea what we were doing. The first house we ever bought was a 5-plex. Went all in, went in, did that. And then, we kind of just like learned as we inherited tenants. We did all kinds of things. Did not know what we were doing, but liked it, learning a lot. And then from there, it kind of just every year we were like, we'll buy one property. That's what we felt safe doing, to the point where it's like, this is nice, but this isn't at our pace that we're wanting or needing out of this. Correct. So it's been to the point where, up until we joined 7FF, we were very stuck. We didn't know what to do. Again, Morgan has pushed to join something to learn for a long time. So I finally jumped on board and was introduced to 7FF through some friends. And, you know, it's been very nice ever since. We've learned a lot.
Yeah, that's Kayla, that's just, it's a really kind of typical, like, oh, we know real estate's like a thing we should do to help us grow, build wealth. Like we kind of just know that that's a thing, but a lot of us stumble into it. We get a rental or two and then we're like, okay, cool. How do we do a whole bunch of this and go faster? And that I think is where a lot of people actually get stuck and figuring out how to, you know, create a lifestyle and a business around this whole real estate thing to create impact and legacy. And I've watched you guys do it in a meaningful way. The cool thing is you guys are in Indiana. And I like that. And Morgan has, you didn't say this, but Morgan has skills, construction skills. And I like that you guys are in Indiana because you can turn anything into a flip or a rental there and it works. So you have a lot of like risk reduction because of that. Can you talk about what you guys are doing? What's your goals for rentals? What are you doing for rentals? And what are you doing like for flips? How do you guys think about that in your business today?
Sure. So when we got started, as Kayla was talking, I was kind of pushing for rentals because we wanted stability and long-term wealth and less of a job and more of a passive income in the future. So as we've kind of refined that, we got our first place. Really made sense because it was just multifamily, which just makes sense. And we had to kind of figure it out as we went, as the numbers are different with multifamily and single family. So we're looking to acquire and flip 7 properties in the next year from July, actually. So if we can take on 7 new properties, 3 in the first round, of a buffer period to take for intake, and then another 4 for the last round of flips, to try to help kind of steady us in between and keep us rolling for acquisitions and everything. And in between there, I would like to take on a minimum of, well, really 5 rentals in total, but I would, my minimum would be about 3. So we've actually acquired 2 in the last 6 months. We've acquired 2 since joining 7-figure flipping, and we were able to acquire those with a flip that we're going to be working on. So that actually worked out very well. So those will actually be 100% equity. They'll be cash flowing really well once we flip the house that came with it. And as we move forward, we're looking to do more flips so that we can obtain more rentals and just all the things that were originally our plan with rentals for long-term wealth.
That's awesome. You guys have a great plan. You're in a great market for that. You said how many houses? Well, first off, can you just say how long you've been in 7-figure flipping and how many properties you purchased?
We've been in
I feel like
since
you've been here forever.
Yeah, we've been here since about mid-July, and we have bought 6 properties since we have been in 7FF.
Wow. Yeah. So you guys are not going slow.
We're learning a lot along the way.
Yeah, that's what I want to kind of talk about next. Like, I feel like something you saw or something you learned kind of broke a glass ceiling for you that you might have thought was holding you back, and you guys seem to have exploded. I'm sure it's a little messy, and I'm sure that it feels uncomfortable, but like, what did you get in here that you saw? Was it the other people doing things that help belief?
Realizing, looking back, like how many properties we missed because we didn't know these things, we didn't understand them, we didn't understand the process. And not only that, like people in the community at 7FF has helped us like walk through the process as we started. Like, so what do we do next? You know, and it's helped, and now we're good to go. Like, it's like, all right, let's keep doing it.
Yep, I love it. And you guys already have, well, you have 2 things that are really helpful for you that you came in with. Like, there's no credit to 7FF. It's just something magical happens when you get into the room. But you guys already had skills. Like, you already knew, like, Morgan knows construction. You knew the market. Like, you guys knew generally about real estate specifically in your market. So it wasn't like you necessarily needed that or the analysis of the properties. You maybe relearned some analysis as you started to figure out, oh, I can get this money and it costs this much. I got to kind of calculate that in to make sure my profit's good. But you guys came in with skills. So I, a lot of the credit is on you guys, but I agree with you. Something magical happened for me when I came in here. And of course, it was a skill upgrade for me. I learned a lot of new skills personally, but then also just seeing other people do something that I didn't even think was in my reach, like, helped me to go, oh, I'm thinking a little bit too small, or like, wow, I can do that too. And I think for me, that was like most encouraging. I'm not sure if it was like, you said mindset, but I felt like just seeing other people like change my belief system. What do you have to say to that?
I feel like I've always kind of had the mindset that we could do these big things. But for me, the playbook is the big drawback. Like she said, we've done everything in just such a slow, just, these are the things that we know work. But they're just not going to get us to the next level in the time that we want to. So, watching all the other people do, they've helped us, learn that next step. Like, oh, we just got to do this. It seems daunting, and it's been very helpful.
Yeah, and then you do it, and now you have it. You refine it. You have it as your own system and process. You create new beliefs, which create new actions, which allow you to grow. I think it's so cool. You guys have been probably just my favorite to watch because you guys also, and I want to know where this comes from. By the way, Kayla, if it makes you feel any better, I was watching Flip Hacking live in 2020, and Bill gave the invitation to join Runway at that time. I'm like, wow, $15,000. like, that's a lot of money. I feel like I need that really badly, but I'm like scared to spend it. So I go to my wife who, not involved in the business. And she's like, wait a minute, what? You're going to spend, do what? I was like, trust me, it's going to be great. I'll figure it out. And I'll get 5 times the return. I'm positive. I just don't know when and how it'll come, but I'm confident it will come. And then she believed in me and she supported me reluctantly, and we jumped in, and it changed my life. And I know, Kayla, you were probably thinking like, what? This is crazy.
Yeah.
And obviously Morgan's pushing to grow.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
well, now you were skeptical then. How do you feel about it now?
We love it and it's helped us. There's no way since July that we would be where we're at without 7FF. Like there's absolutely no way. I mean, we probably would have bought our normal couple houses this year and done the same thing, which is wonderful, but not what we want and have goals towards. It's totally worth the investment and learning. And not only that, the people have been great. I very much so enjoy the events and getting to meet people in person and things like that.
Yeah, we do life together is what I like to tell people. And they're like, well, you do what? You're in what kind of group? I'm like, yeah, it's just a bunch of friends that I pay for, and we do life together. It's cool. And they think I'm crazy too. So don't worry about it. People think we're crazy. That's all
I
right.
agree.
That's cool, Kayla. Thank you so much for sharing. By the way, my goal was not to bait you into saying 7FF is awesome, but I watch this happen so often where people are like, what is this thing? They get into it, and it's just like getting around the people and then getting the few systems and processes and or money raising skills, like one skill you're missing or one system you're missing. And then I just watch their businesses grow, boom, to the moon, over and over and over and over again. I mean, you guys know Steph and Ted, it was the same thing. They come in, they go, holy cow, these systems are exactly what we're looking for. They put them in place, and you guys watch their business just explode. And then they still are doing it. Like they have an insatiable desire to learn. And then the other thing that I want to compliment you guys on is, it's one thing to come in here or in any place and get the playbook, get the information, get the system, get the process, because lots of people can do that. But it's another thing to put it into action and to do it in a fast, like you see, you go, okay, this is what I need. Got it. Cool. In action. Like I remember you guys had joined and I was probably on a call with Morgan within like the first 2 weeks. And we're talking like, how do we structure this private money? Like I started doing the thing you said. Now people want to give me money. Okay, what do I do? How do I put the paperwork together? How do I structure? I'm like, holy crap, these guys are moving fast. I love it. And I just knew, I'm like, oh, these guys are going to be so great because they're going to take the things that people have already blazed a path for and they're going to implement it. What is it that about you guys that made you such fast implementers? Before you answer, let me tell you, for me, I spent a whole bunch of money and I was trying to get my money's worth, if I'm being completely honest.
That's definitely one factor.
Yeah, for sure. So what makes you guys such good implementers?
I feel like it's just like as soon as we learn it, it clicked. It's like, why didn't we know that before? Let's do it. Like that makes sense. And seeing other people doing it, like it's like it works. You know, I've seen it. Let's do it. Let's try it. We're very much, once we feel comfortable with something, we're going to do it and implement it very quickly. Because if not, like that was the whole point of joining this, is learning and scaling our business as quickly as possible and not being very uncomfortable. We're both very uncomfortable in our like learning and, you know, doing things that are way out of some ordinary that we would normally do.
Yes. Like coming on this podcast maybe is a little uncomfortable too, and I'm grateful for you guys for doing that. Hey, this one's kind of for Morgan too, because we see this a lot when people come into our world. Like you think we're teaching real estate. We're not really teaching real estate here. We're teaching development as a leader in business, and we're teaching business. Real estate just happens to be our widget, and we all love it. And it's also a very powerful wealth building widget. And here's the thing that I see people struggle with who come in though with construction skills, because like, I think of our friend Tom and some others who like, I'm just going to do all the work and save money. And I don't know, Morgan, if you've kind of hit this yet, because I do know you are really hands-on guy. You're very good at your craft. You can do a lot of things, um, but it does hold some people back, because instead of being able to do, you might save a little bit on one house, but in reality, if you had crews, you could have 3 or 4 houses going at a time, and now you're just managing it and QCing it because you have the skill to do that. How do you feel about that with where you're at right now, knowing that you have all those construction skills?
I think you're exactly correct. As somebody asked me when we first joined, and I didn't mean it in a downward, like as a bad thing, but they say, oh, well, I think I'm going to teach and have my son, and then they're going to learn some of the things to do the things. Like, don't teach him anything. You will have to figure out how to get other people to do it, and he won't ever know it, so it'll never be an option. Like, I agree completely. We've definitely moved into that, and I'm doing less of the work. That's for sure the route that I think is necessary for growth.
Yeah, that's great. Thanks for sharing. And look, hey, you guys, and Morgan, I told you this, I have 0 skills, barely change light bulbs. My wife literally has hired a handyman at our house because I'm so worthless when it comes to construction or things like that. But the benefit to me was, because I was never capable, there was no world where I looked at a construction problem set in a property and said, oh, I could do that cheaper and faster. When I look at that, I say, oh, that'd probably take me 4 months to complete, and it'll take this guy 3 days. So maybe it's a detriment to my husbandly ego over here, but for business, it's been a real benefit to me, because I had to learn how to lead and manage people, particularly contractors and general contractors and construction folks who maybe don't have business savvy or don't understand the urgency of time, because they're not the ones spending the money. So you have to develop those people skills to move things along and get them done right. Especially, and imagine if you go to a house you actually don't know anything about construction. You're like, I think these guys are doing a good job, I hope. So yeah, it could be a challenge. It could be a challenge not knowing anything, but it's definitely a benefit from a business perspective. So I really do appreciate your perspective. Yeah, don't teach your son that. Like, if you teach him that, he'll get stuck doing it for a long time. Now, the skill is good to have, of course, but the habit of just doing everything yourself can become detrimental to your growth.
Yeah, that's where we're at in our business, is moving that forward and dealing with him doing less and managing. And we're in the middle of that. That's part of our growth right now.
Yes. And I'm sure it's uncomfortable. We talked a little bit. You're in this. You guys saw because you acquired quite a few properties, which is more than you normally would have. So you're experiencing new throughput type issues. You're experiencing wow, I have 4 of these going on. Like, now I got to really project manage this thing and make sure timelines are tight and budgets are tight, and a lot of stuff going there. Now, people don't know this. You guys are in Indiana. I get a kick when I talk to you guys about your underwriting and your purchase prices. You're like, I'm buying for 20,000. I'm going to put 24,000 into it. We'll be all in for 48. It's going to be a great property. And you can't even get a kitchen for 48 grand in Florida. So
That's fair.
You guys are doing all right up there in Indiana.
Yeah. Much cheaper cost of living for sure.
Yeah, smart. It's smart. It's very smart. And you guys can get rentals that make a way more sense than anybody down here in the South. So, guys, I'm so grateful that you even just spent a little bit of time with me today on the podcast. You guys are amazing, amazing stewards of the community. I love having you guys in the community. You can get them on Facebook, on social media. If you have a wholesale deal in Indiana, you want to get over to these guys. They're real buyers. If you have private capital sitting on the sideline, lazy money, you want to get it into what I would consider a pretty low risk environment, reach out to Morgan and Kayla. I'm so grateful you guys came on the show today. Everybody, if you like this episode and you see this kind of growth in yourself, always just feel free to send us a message. We'd love to see if you're a good fit for our community, see if we can help your business in any way. And here's the cool part is it's always no pressure for us, but if you do reach out to us, we have a rule that we leave things better than we got them. So we will at a very minimum give you a really, really elite resource that will help you in your business, even if it's at no cost, something free. If that's what you need, if you're not a good fit for being in our community yet, it's really awesome. I'm excited about our community. So if you think it's a place you would want to be and Morgan and Kayla's story resonate with you, please just reach out to us. And I appreciate you guys listening. Don't forget to like and subscribe this. This is how we grow. If it would be so helpful if you did that. You know, if you like what you're listening to, leave us a review. It only takes like 2 minutes and it's super helpful for us. So appreciate you guys, and I'll see you on the next show.